Hey guys, so I really want to uh, talk about some really engaging and growth tactics for your podcast. So these are just ideas about episodes that I really want you to think about when you're creating your podcast. So this is just to like really get more engagement, get more listeners, makes it more relatable. This is just kind of a rundown of 25 ways to get more downloads and more listeners by making a different kind of episode. Okay, so number one is going to be book reviews. Book reviews. Um, what's really cool about if you do a book review, right? You can target whoever wrote the book's Twitter or Facebook page, and then you can give them a shout out if you like their book or if you don't like their book, and then you can get a lot of people to listen to your download because people are interested in reviews. And other cool things that you can review are like if you're doing affiliate stuff, you can review a bunch of affiliate things. You can review courses. You can review groups, Facebook groups, and things like that. You can review channels and websites. These are great ways to connect with that audience because you're reviewing, you're talking about them, and people like to hear what other people have to say about them. Okay. Event reviews. That's another fun one that you can do. You can go places. You could just have a whole restaurant review podcast where you just go to different restaurants and you critique them on how good your spaghetti was or whatever, But people like that sort of stuff. People are very like ready to read things like that, and they're ready to listen, and they want to hear your opinion because if your opinion matches theirs, they're more likely to keep listening. So those are good. Next one is listener letters. Okay, and this is also just really cool sometimes for like the beginning of your podcast. Just read the reviews that people have been giving you on your podcast. This inspires more people to give you reviews. But also getting letters from your listeners is awesome, or just messages on Facebook or Twitter from your listeners. Read those on it live on the show, and it'll really create more of a connection with your audience. Another one that we're going to show you is how to set up a Google voicemail so that your fans can call you and connect with you. And it's just super awesome way to get other voices on your podcast, without doing interviews. You can literally just take the voicemail, put the voicemail on your podcast, and then talk about it from there. It can really build a connection with your listeners, and sometimes. Next one is criticize something. Say, who was it? His name is Alan something or other, but he's a consultant. And he really blew up by basically just talking shit about Tony Robbins. Not in a bad way, actually, but just saying how, positive thinking is just complete crap. And he went really contrarian to what people were really into in like the self-help department. And he got a lot of attention because he was so contradictive, and he was criticizing something. And his opinion was so different that everybody had to listen to him, Just kind of a way to get more listeners if you criticize something, because you want to really talk about things that you're passionate, but sometimes the stuff that you're passionate about is just stuff that you're pissed off about. Things need to change around here. So that's just another one. Next one, motivational episodes. Monday motivation is a Twitter hashtag that goes on every Monday, and if you really want to, motivate your people love to listen to motivational stuff in the morning. So if you come up with a show where you're motivating people every day with your show, that's a powerful thing. And then the next one is going to be lessons from. All right, so this is blank. So you fill in the blank, and these can be really entertaining for your listeners because they're life lessons. Why have your listeners reinvent the wheel if you already learned something and you want to share it? And you can create lots of episodes like this. So podcasting lessons from the 1970s, 5 marketing lessons from a hipster church, stuff like that. And then here's the next one. It's a weird viewpoint. You have your opinions. Share them with the world. Make it a weird one. Find a really, really weird way that you see stuff, and then just talk about it. And people will want to listen because it's weird. People like weird stuff. Number 9, the list. 6 ways to. Top 10. My favorite 5 resources for 5 strategies to be a successful at. History, 10 greatest. People love lists. They like infographics. They like step-by-steps. So this is another great way to spice up an episode by putting a list and then walking people through people, and then people always will stay till the end if you start at number 10, 10 hottest celebrities. They'll start at 10 and then they'll listen all the way to the end because they want to know who number 1 is. It's kind of interesting. Day in the life. This is kind of cool. And I see people do this a lot more lately, but I think it's a fun idea where, you find celebrities in your niche that are really the big dogs, like Tony Robbins, Tom Cruise, Tom Hanks, and then you say like the life of, or how their business marketing, and like you use their name to kind of name, what's it called? Is it name plug or name drop? You just name drop like a mother trucker. But it can actually get people to listen to your podcast because they know who that is. You're talking about that. That's something they're interested in. Boom. Next one is how I. People are very interested in how people do things. People are living their lives. So you can make episodes like how I podcast, how I do my marketing, how I built a 6-figure business, how I sell furniture, stuff like that. So these are all very interesting ways to get more stuff. And then here's another one is the hack or shortcut. Examples is I saved $100 by 3 bizarre blank. These are all great ways that you can title your shows to get them more captivating, more interesting. The hack, people want to learn secrets, shortcuts. People are lazy. They don't want to do all the work. They want to know the fastest way to do stuff. So next one, current events. Man, if you are into the news and stuff like that, I should make a whole episode of this, but you can just find relevant hashtags in the morning, bust out an episode, and then put it out there, and you could be thriving overnight. You could just be blowing up because you can get trending. You can tag everybody who follows those hashtags. Events right now with the whole coronavirus, people are talking about it like crazy, nonstop. Lots of listeners. So current events are really big. So if you're into that sort of stuff, I would go hashtag hunting, and you can make an episode on very current events. People want to know, that's what the news is all about. That's why people read the newspaper every freaking day and watch the news every night. They want to know what's up on current events. And the cool thing is lots of people, like I said, you could be a niche inside of a niche on a certain news topic, and you'll find people that want to listen to your opinion that like you. Mythbusters. So what's the next one? Find, conspiracies and bust those myths down. So yeah, be a mythbuster. Find facts on stuff and blow it out of the water. Share your opinion with people. Tell them, what's up and that what they're doing is wrong. Or, people love controversial stuff and like conspiracy theories. So you can be a conspiracy theorist or you can be a conspiracy theorist buster. But that's interesting to people because they have questions unanswered, that they'll figure out how to do or what to do, All right, next is going to be my biggest failures. People love those fail videos. But also people like to hear raw, true stories. Like, it gets so old when people only talk about, like, their successes. They never talk about all the shit they went through to get where they are, to who they are. Next one is my first time, blank. That is a good title for anything. You can just really grow your podcast by telling people your firsts. People are always interested in it. It's relatable. They'll think about, oh yeah, my first time, blah, blah, blah. The next one is going to be a poll or a survey. This is really good, actually, to connect with your audience, to ask them, do you believe this? Yes or no? Ask listeners the questions, collect results, then you discuss the results. Perfect show. Perfect idea for a cool show. If I had to start all over, this is a very, everybody's asking all the famous people, like, what would you do if you had no money and you were 18? Or like, if you had to start all over, where would you go? What would you do? And the next one is blank with only $100. My most popular video on YouTube is how to become an entrepreneur with no money. So people like to figure out how they can go from broke to rich, rags to riches, and $100 niches and $100 secrets. It's very cool, interesting, how to buy a car for $1,000, how to buy a house for $5,000, how to vacation for $100, good ideas. Blank for free. Social media is like becoming just a cesspool for free stuff. People are just freaking out for free things. So if you can offer advice for free, anything for free, it'll help be a good title for your episode. People will want to know how they can get free stuff. Quote of the day. That's the next one. That's not a bad title. You can have a quote of the day. All right. And the next one is going to be do a tribute. A tribute to your heroes, to your favorite, whatever your niche is, people. That's another name-dropping situation where you can give a tribute to them and you can talk about their life, and people are interested in that sort of stuff because they're interested in celebrities and famous people or historic people, things like that. Holiday podcasts. Have a big holiday celebration on your podcast. Wishing everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and then talk about that, So, or there's so many stupid holidays nowadays. The surprise drug test holiday. National Clean Up Your Desk Day. There's Hot Dog Day. Like all kinds of stupid holidays that you can make an episode about. Today in History. That's an interesting, episode. Such and such. And then a year in review. These are all big episodes that you can really do. So those are just like 25 cool ways to spice up your headlines, ideas for episodes that you can take and you can run with. Another one you can do is bonus episodes are always really good. Predictions for the year ahead, or your advice on something. So I hope that was helpful. Just kind of get the ball rolling, come up with some ideas and to spice up your headlines and come up with some episodes for your show. And then don't forget some keyword research is always really cool. And then also just asking your audience and then also seeing what's really working and make more episodes like that. Cool.